I'm just living my
over.
life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, 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 life. I'm just living my life, and I'm not living.
Generally speaking, most of the time, black people are treated unfairly.
Nah.
Okay. Do you think black people have to work harder than white people to achieve similar results?
I'm gonna say yeah. And the only reason I say yeah is because the blacks haven't put themselves in the position to have the connections to build the infrastructure that the white people have. So it's going to be a little bit more easier for them to navigate through. Not saying that white people don't have challenges, and it's definitely not an all thing, but because white people are the majority of the country, they own the majority of the businesses and stuff like that. It's going to be easy for them to get there because the other episode we talked about we talked about discrimination. And so what people don't understand is, I was talking about this on Facebook, and they was like, well, they didn't want to hire her because she was black. And I was like, what about the company culture? If the company culture is, really centered around, basic American white culture, like how many black people can you really have just fit up in that culture like that? It's going to mesh well with the company and give you the result that you're looking for that specific position. So these are things that you have to take into consideration when you're looking for jobs and you're looking at business and stuff like that. Who meshes well best with the company? Do I agree with it? Not really, but at the same time, that's why I have my own business. That's how people run their businesses out here. It's legal to do that. And if people want to do that, I think that's fine. Even if I don't agree with it, I think it's fine to go ahead and do it. I don't think it's a wrong thing. You know what I mean? If you think that's what works best for your business, that's fine. But I do think that, white people naturally have it just a little bit easier because of the level of ownership in the business realm in America.
Okay, so let me add to that. So I don't necessarily think that black people have to work harder to achieve the same results. I do at the same time because I do think the reason why we have to work harder is because we are oftentimes raised with this poor victim mindset. So we do have to work harder to get out that victim mindset to achieve those results. But if you grow up in a community of these same people in a mixed culture community, you are of that culture. So at the same time, I do understand that a business is more likely to hire somebody with similar culture and background as them. That culture doesn't mean that your skin color has to favor them also. You can be of different skin color and of the same culture. So I do think we do have to work harder because as a whole, I would say most, especially that I'm aware of, most black people come in my community, they come from a different mindset and they have to kind of climb out that victim mindset. You have to work harder in that way, but not as far as putting in the same work. Like once you get out of that victim mindset, putting in the actual work, I don't think you have to put in more work, like physical work and tangible work, and like work harder at school than a white person to achieve the same results. I think that the victim mindset is what we have to work harder at. So I agree, but I disagree.
I agree with that too. I think it's just a both, and I think it's always a case by. I always say, it's a case by case scenario. Sometimes you might need to work a little harder to stand out if you want to stand out. Hard work stands out.
Yeah.
So I think that, but that's an everybody thing though. Everybody can stand out with hard work. But to your point, I do agree. A lot of black people do got work at getting out that victim mindset. Coming up out of that, you know what I'm saying, is probably harder than anything else you'll probably experience in this life. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a mindset. You can't see it.
Yeah, white people work hard. They work hard too to get results. They put work in.
Yeah. I don't want to take away from the white people. White people work hard, and I'd have been around some. White people that work very hard.
Yeah, it feels like it discredits. I feel like it discredits people from their hard work and their achievements when we say that we can't achieve these same results and we have to work twice. It's like you don't know most black people haven't even been around enough white people to even understand the amount of work they put in to achieve that success.
And I guess what I was referencing, not saying like, I guess I was kind of going back to what you were saying, like, because it's not like I'd have been in situations with white people, you know what I'm saying, where I went to school with them, worked with them, and just outworked them and just naturally shine. So I guess I'm really just piggybacking off of just, when you black, you gotta overcome so many other things, because when you're coming from an urban community opposed to a suburban community, the culture is different. So just coming up out of the urban culture mindset, you know what I'm saying, to get to the when you get to the suburban culture, then when you get into these workplaces and in these spaces with these people, it's like you have to adapt. You have to adapt.
But it's not their fault. It's your,
not, yeah, of course. It's not their fault. But you have to work you have to work harder to adapt to where they're at. So that's what I'm referencing. Like, you have to work harder to adapt to be in that environment, you know, if you didn't come from it. And most black people just didn't come from it. Yeah. So it's like I said, it's just natural. It's just natural. That's why white people, they naturally thrive, because they used to being around it. Yeah. They're just more exposed to it. So yeah, man, that's a real interesting dynamic to think about, bro. When you really just put it all together, you know, of what's holding people back in life. You know what I'm saying? Like, being exposed to productive culture.
So let me ask, would you travel 2,000 miles by feet in the heat to a country that would oppress you?
Never.
I ask that because there are people from South and Central America traveling 2,000 miles with their children to America.
For oppression?
And why would you travel that far to be oppressed? It doesn't make sense.
Man, you see that Charleston White interview, Jesse Lee? I know you watched that.
Sandwich with the wrong side of the